we go. All right. Good morning. Do you see me yet? Oh, okay. Good morning. I think we're starting now. Welcome to worship with the community. Oh, pardon me. Oliver, not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Good morning. Welcome to worship with the community of Westside Unitarian Universalist Church, where compassion leads us to work for justice and equality. I'm glad you are joining for our virtual service today. It is my hope that this gathering will renew your senses of community and connection and nourish your heart, mind, and spirit. My name is Michael Munoz, and I am the worship associate this morning. This morning, we will welcome Daniel Polk to the reflection. I am so glad we could stay connected virtually through worship in this time of sheltering at home. Your patience as we will continue to learn how we can use Zoom support worship. I want to thank our tech helpers today, including Spencer Maxwell, Jennifer Weaver, Jeff Rodriguez, Sarah Munoz, and Nikki Kennedy. And thanks to our wonderful pianist, Yuki Kumamoto, Sherry, and Joe Villanueva for providing music. We are trying more music this week for optimal sound quality. Be you spiritual seeker, an atheist, theist, whether you find inspiration in the great books and the great outdoors, or great conversations, all are welcome in our inclusive congregation. If you are so moved, you can try to chat feature on our Zoom by typing some words in the welcome to both members and visitors who are joining us this morning. On behalf of our community, I also say to all, welcome. The order of service today is a Google Doc. A PDF of this week's program is provided in the chat for you to download, if you can. We will also continue to post song lyrics, the affirmation, and so on the screen. I suggest you can go ahead and download and open the order of service from the chat now, if you are able. Please continue to watch your inbox, the church website, and our Facebook page for updates on how church groups are meeting and how you can participate in programs and stay connected. You can also stick around after the service ends today if you would like to join us for virtual coffee hour. We will be breaking out into break rooms of about 4 people each so you can connect with one another. First, I invite you to consider what will help you be present for this worship service. Please make yourself comfortable with your beverage, blankie, 4-legged companion, or art supplies. You may wish to set your phone on silent or choose to close a door. As we go through the service, I invite you to do what you need to do with your body, to be comfortable and engaged. Now let us worship together as we listen to this morning's prelude. lighter so we can light together in a moment. First, I share with you words of Anne Forster. We come now out of the darkness of our unknowing and the dusk of our dreaming. Come we now from far places. Come we now into the twilight of our awakening and the reflection of our gathering. Come we now all together. We bring unilluminated our dark cravings of doubting. We seek unbedazzled the clear light of understanding. May the sparks of our joining kindle our resolve, brighten our spirits, reflect our love, and unshadow our days. Come we now enter the dawning. Go ahead and light your chalice, everyone. Okay. The flame is a symbol of heritage of our past and the light of hope within the church today. The beautiful carved wooden chalice in Westside Sanctuary survived a fire in our previous church location. And so, even as we lit other chalices today, the act of doing so is a reminder of the resilience and strength of this congregation that we carry into this day. Our chalice song this morning is Gathered Here. Words are in the order of service and presented on screen. From your home, tall or stand and join me in reciting the affirmation found in Google Docs. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service prayer. To dwell together in peace, freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. Will you join Sherry in singing our opening? It is 3:46. Come sing a song with me. For service and printed on the screen. Presented on the screen. One moment, Kelly. I think Nikki is adding the Time for All Ages. There we go.
Hey, how you doing? I thought it'd be fun to try a little Time for All Ages outside edition. Today I want to talk to you guys about something really powerful. It's hope. But before we start talking about hope, I wanted to ask if you've ever hoped for something, like really hoped for something, and has it ever happened? It's easy for me to hang out in my backyard and be hopeful. You see, spring has sprung. And one of my favorite parts of spring is everything new that grows. So I have two different kinds of seeds here. Some of them are very, very small. One of them is much bigger. Can you think about why these seeds might give me some hope? Tiny seeds like this lead to little sprouts that come up like this. And these little sprouts become a bigger plant like this. And this basil right here, that little piece of basil tastes awesome. So this seed could be planted and turn into something like this. You see it has a root system and leaves, and then this can turn into this, and then maybe one day it can be a tree this big. Although this isn't an oak tree. This is a catawba tree. We call it a green bean tree, but that's another story. Now, you may be wondering why it is seeds give me so much hope. Let me tell you. So now, if I dropped these seeds, say on the floor of my bedroom or maybe my office at church, would anything ever grow from them? No, of course not. There's no hope of them becoming a tree or a plant. But if I offered soil and water and air and sunshine, I have hope that this seed would turn into this and maybe even a big tree. Just like those seeds, our hope needs other things to come to life. First, we must start with our imaginations. We can imagine the thing that we're hoping for. I want you to take a minute and close your eyes. Imagine something you've hoped for. Your hopes are like acorns. They need a little bit of work, some care, some action, some help, and even some luck to ever come to life. Just like those seeds become plants and trees. And I have one important question for you. Could we ever have an oak tree without first having an acorn? Psh, no way. No, that's just like all the great things that have ever happened. They began with somebody's hope, with their imagination, with their hard work and determination. And friends, that's where the power of hope comes from. It comes from you. So I want to know, what are you going to hope for? What are you going to imagine? And what are you going to make become a reality? As for me, one of my hopes have always been to have a big, huge garden. Now, I don't have a big, huge garden yet, but I did start with this. And my hope for Westside is that we will all continue to live the principles we believe in, continue to take care of each other, and continue to be the very best Westside community we know how to be.
Okay, thank you, Nikki. For joys and concerns, I have several submitted by email. You can also post them in the comments right below. If you have a joy or concern and you would like to share, please do so today. Pardon me, my dog is having a drink of water. Just remember that because we are live streaming and will post the recording, things shared today can be heard by many. As we share our joys with others, those joys are multiplied. As we share our concerns, our community can offer its care. Here's one I received earlier from Daniel Melendez. Another friend of mine, Ed, passed away this week, non-COVID-19 related. I'm so sorry, Daniel. And here are some from the chat. Sarah will share with us.
Don't have any yet, sorry.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'll give everyone a few minutes.
Hold on. Oh, I gotta scroll back. That's right. Okay. From Amy, she has a joy that my paternal grandmother turned 80 yesterday. And from Matthew and Rachel and Andre. Andre is turning 2 tomorrow. And from Melissa, there's a concern. Please pray for the Wiener family. And from Jana, happy 79th birthday to Donald's dad. From Carol and Sue, we had to let our cat Pepper cross over the Rainbow Bridge on Thursday night. We and our other pets are missing her. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carol and Sue. From Caroline, please keep our friend Chewy in your thoughts and prayers. With the outpouring of love and concern in the chat. Do you have any others? Oh, I'll add my own. My friend Diane and her mom both have COVID, and they're in a bad place right now, so please keep them in your thoughts. That's all we got. I think that's it.
Thank you, everyone. We'll give everyone a few more minutes. Sharing draws our community closer together. Please know that our pastoral care associates are also available to support you one-on-one, the ups and downs that life brings. When you want to connect, you can reach out directly to any of us. Drop an email to pastoralcare@westsideu.org. In a minute. Or call a church and you'll be connected. We also have an in-reach fund administered by pastoral care teams that can help members and friends through a time of short-term financial need. We are here for you. Our centering song will be by Joe Villanueva on harp. Thank you, Joe. That was beautiful. On the wings of this music, I invite you to join me in a time of centering. Each week here at Westside, we open our hearts to those in our community who know both joys and challenges, and to all suffering beings. I will offer a pastoral introduction before we move into a time of silent introspection. You may wish to position yourself comfortably and let your eyes rest. And we will hear the ones from before and a few more from Sarah as well. Okay.
I can't. I'm sorry. I would back up and read all the other ones, but there's two more joys. Or joy from Barbara. My joy is at this time of trouble. It's happening during such beautiful spring weather. That is a joy. And from Gwen, I thought I lost old Hollycat yesterday, 20 years old. Disappeared 2 hours, but reappeared on the back porch. It's a nice joy.
As we keep those in mind, we also remember Red Fawn Phallus. Keeping in mind recording of this service, we will be made in public. I invite you to enter into chat anyone you would like to call into our circle of care, and we will call their names.
Christina and her family, Grant and Thea, Sophia and her parents, Chewy, Charlie Lord, Myrtle's son and daughter-in-law in Zimbabwe, Robin and Mike. From Kelly, my best friend Loretta transferred to Las Vegas recently and is all alone and at high risk. From Stan, all our medical heroes struggling on the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis.
Thank you all. Let us enter now into a period of silence. Mark at the beginning and end the sound of a bell. During the silence, you may wish to meditate, pray, or silently invite the spirit of life to come to you. Westside has a long tradition of reaching out to the wider community in generosity. Because the needs of our church community and the communities around us have shifted during the pandemic, and because we've seen a drop in loose plate offerings since we've shifted to meeting online, we recently introduced some changes to our offering. You'll find guidance in the order of service, the chat, and in the afterword about 3 different causes to support and how you, in addition to giving online through our donation web page or by mailing a check to the church. You can now use the Give Plus app available through Google Play Store or on the App Store. Please know that payments on your pledge to support the church itself are needed just as much as ever. While we are not meeting in our building, we are still paying on our mortgage, and our staff are finding new ways to communicate our ministry. Thank you for being as faithful in your pledge as your circumstances allow. You can give to your pledge on our website by the Give Plus app or by postal mail. We also welcome donations to the Church InReach Fund. We recently dispersed the first pandemic-related check from this fund to a member facing financial difficulty. It is likely that more requests will come in, and we would like to be able to respond generously to our members and friends in need. You can donate to the InReach Fund on our website, Give Plus, or by mail. Lastly, if you are in position to provide financial support to the community organizations, helping to meet people's needs during this challenging time, we encourage you to make gifts directly to those organizations. This will avoid incurring extra layer of fees from online giving and would happen if we poured our gifts first together. One organization, Westside, has long supported that we encourage our members to continue support. Now, directly, if you can, is Samaritan House. You can give to Samaritan House online at their website or by postal mail. Again, all of these links and contacts appear on the order of service, the chat, and will be included in the afterward e-blast on Monday. To give you some time to make gifts right now, as you are able, we will hear a gift of music from Yuki. us to ensure that our mission continues and connects us to the wider web of community. Let us hear Daniel Polk, the Executive Director of North Unitarian Universalist Congregation.
Good morning. I'm glad to share a poem with you, one that those of us from the children of the 60s and 70s might know, by Max Ehrmann, called Desiderata. Go placidly among the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be lesser and greater persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a good morning. I'm glad to share a poem with you, one that the right to be here. And whether it is clear to you or not, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you can see him to be. Some of us might say, have other names for God, but that's okay. Whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusions of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a peaceful world, a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Good morning. The columnist Irma Bombeck, yes, I'm that old, was talking with her colleague Art Buchwald and complaining about her back pain. He asked, "Can you get a column out of it?" She thought she could, so he said, "Yeah, the pain's worth it." Making lemonade out of lemons. A couple of years ago, I'm in a group that was in crisis, and after it was over, I asked myself what I'd learned in that experience, what I'd gotten out of that ordeal. It didn't become a column, but a Toastmasters speech, 3 lessons of leadership. I learned or was reminded of 3 qualities of leaders. 1 is to listen. Listen carefully, listen deeply. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is listen. 2, remember the mission. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Why are we meeting? 3, be a non-anxious presence, the calm person in this room. This may be a new concept for many, but I'll explain more in a minute. My first lesson was to listen. How many of you had a parent say that or a teacher tell you that a person has 2 ears and 1 mouth, a reminder that you're supposed to do more listening than talking. And if the brain is spitting out words, it's less likely to absorb new knowledge. Listening is also a sign of respect. People who are heard feel respected and valued. If you want your employees to quit, to stop working, just stop listening. Deep listening can also help us learn the actual issues, both obvious and hidden, instead of relying on our preconceived ideas. What are the real problems and possible solutions? There's a concept in business of 2 types of management. One is management by desk time, which is probably the choice of a lot of introverts. It involves reading and writing, those emails, reports, etc. But a lot more than the other type, management by walking around. Just what it sounds like. An executive may spend a good time of their day walking the hallways, the hospital, their store, restaurant, or factory, speaking with employees and guests, asking what they like and don't like about the place. The terms were coined by Tom Peters, you remember him, but Sam Walton is probably the most well-known practitioner. The practice doesn't work without listening, though, deep and real listening. My second lesson was to remember the mission. What are we doing here? Why do we have an organization in the first place? What are we supposed to be doing? If we can stay focused on that mission, if we're united in our efforts, success will come much easier because there will be fewer squabbles and less wasted time when we don't have to work things out. Having a mission that we've all bought into with everyone moving in the same direction means that we can speak in a clear and strong voice. One of the 4 pillars of Omni Growth is incarnation, our presence in the community. A simple measure of that aspect is the answer to the question, what do the neighbors say about us? So I'll ask now, how do your neighbors in the immediate area and further away describe Westside UU Church? Buying into the issue means being committed, which reminds me of a story. Those of you who know me won't be surprised that I have to tell one. I heard this one from Laura Holman years ago. One of our parishioners in Bloomington, Indiana, was someone named Ralph Fuchs. He had been a national leader in his professional faculty group. In that role, he had fought long and hard to preserve academic freedom in the age of McCarthyism and blacklisting. He was the embodiment of commitment. In his last days, Reverend Holman went to visit him in the hospital. He'd been drifting in and out of consciousness, but while she was there, he sat up and in a clear, strong voice declared, "Forward through the ages, in unbroken line, move the faithful spirits at the call divine." Then he went back into his coma, and those were the last words anyone ever heard him say. My third lesson was being reminded of the non-anxious presence, the importance of that. This may be a new term for you, for many. It is the person or people who remain calm under stress or in crisis while the rest of us run around with their hair on fire. They don't bring their own issues to the party, and they don't join the crazy. This is the person in the room who maintains a peaceful presence when everybody else around them is losing it. Whatever the event or crisis, they are present in a way that reorientates the emotional and spiritual atmosphere. Often they could be described as unflappable. It might be a class reunion you're hosting, a wedding reception for just a few hundred of your most intimate friends, professional conference, a simple birthday party, or an actual emergency where the building is on fire. Perhaps the caterer for your big gala doesn't show up, which I have seen happen. They called, "Where are you?" "Oh no, that party's tomorrow night." No. Luckily, there were people who handled the situation smoothly, and we all ate very well. I also heard about another caterer who'd forgotten her event, but when she got a call, she made quiche for 400 people while en route to the party, while someone else drove the truck. If you can be calm, cool, and collected, whether it's in mild or severe stress, you can be a tremendous asset to your family, organization, or company. This concept of non-anxious presence was developed by Rabbi Edwin Friedman, along with that of self-differentiation. Friedman, who was also a therapist, looked at Renaissance leaders who were self-differentiated, and he described them as having some qualities. Don't worry, you have to take notes. This is going to be posted somewhere. There are several lists that will be posted on the church website. 1, these people were able to separate themselves from the emotions swirling around them. 2, they were able to stay rooted in their principles and their vision. 3, they were willing to be open and vulnerable. 4, they were calm and persistent while facing inertia, resistance, and or sabotage. Now, in these turbulent and uncharted times, we could probably use a few more non-anxious presence. We could use a few more people who are a non-anxious presence. Westside could also use some of you as you prepare for a ministerial transition. Are you one of them? Here are a few ways to do that. First, I found these 5 steps from a counselor, so they're in therapist language. 1, don't buy into the story. Doing so helps perpetuate someone, usually the storyteller, as a victim. 2, be yourself and trust your training. 3, don't make it personal. And if it does feel like it's personal, help them do that. You might ask, how would you react if this wasn't personal? If you weren't in the story? 4, downplay your own point of view and help others to develop, strengthen theirs and their perspectives. Remember, it's not about you. 5, ask questions, but don't provide answers. Make other people think. I've often heard, and you may have too, from sales trainings or comedians, "Ma, why do you always answer a question with a question? How else should I answer?" And if you're not the therapist type, I offer these 3 from a former FBI agent and hostage negotiator. You might notice they're designed to empower the listener. Again, these will be posted. 1, ask questions to elicit responses of no. Questions with yes answers are a sales technique that can feel manipulative. Give comments like, "You seem," "You sound," blank. 3, listen. This involves active listening with questions like, "Well, how should I solve this? What would be a good solution? What do you think we should do?" All these 3 things empower the listener. But whatever your situation, whatever your post, offer these 3 points because we always need more leaders and we need effective ones, now more than ever. So, what are they again? 1, listen. Listen some more and listen to what's not being said. 2, Remember the mission. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? 3, being a non-anxious presence. Be calm and be present. And remember the Meg Barnhouse song using words from Julian of Norwich. All will be well, and all will be well. All manner of things will be well. May it be so.
I invite you to stand or sit tall and join in singing our closing hymn. Not in vain, the distance beckons. In one moment, we'll share the Nikki, do you have the apologies? We had a video. I believe, let me close with the words. I do not know that song very well. Words of Barbara Hamilton Holloway. Go now in peace, deeply regard each other, truly listen to each other. Speak what each of you must speak. Ready in any moment to disarm your own heart. Always listen live as if a realm of love had begun. So be it. Blessed be. Amen. Please join me in the congregational closing. There we go. Let us go in peace, believe in peace, and create peace in our lives and in the world. And if you do have the song, Nikki, you can play it. Otherwise, we will go into chat rooms. It's no big deal, Nikki. Not in vain,